All right.
I'ma take what's mine. I want more money, more power. Goddamn nigga, it's about that time. I'm back on my bullshit. I'm back on my bullshit. I said I'm back on my bullshit. I'm back on my bullshit.
Hey.
Did it start?
It's been started.
No. Really?
Gotcha, bitch. Welcome to the comment section. This is Miss Reid.
And this is Dev. Hi.
What's up? What's
Hey,
happening?
hey.
How's everybody? Oh, I want to say something, but I'm not going to swagger
Do
jack.
it.
No, I'm not going to swagger jack. I'll tell you later what it is.
Okay.
Okay, trending. Number one.
We're going right in it.
Number one. Kavanaugh. Actually, I feel like the topic should be SNL.
Okay.
And then all of these
Let's do
other
that.
things kind of fall underneath it.
I like that. It's like giving more credence to the victims. Let's not remember the criminals, you know? So let's remember
I agree.
SNL versus
Yeah.
Kavanaugh.
Well, SNL was very, shall I say, incendiary this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
That's Saturday Night Live, for people who don't know. I hate when people talk in shorthand on podcasts as if people have been either listening to them from like the
every
very
episode.
start
Mm-hmm.
or like just know this thing that they're discussing further. So
Yeah.
SNL stands for Saturday Night Live.
Mm-hmm.
It is a comedy skit show
I don't think you have
that
to
has
go
been
that
on
that
for like
far.
50 years.
Uh-huh. Yes, it is. And it's on Saturday night.
And it's on Saturday nights on, is that NBC or ABC?
Look, I don't even
Oh, shit.
know. I think NBC.
I want to say
They're like
ABC.
4.
Is
Two?
it for ABC? You know
Okay.
what? A
This
bitch ain't
is
had
horrible.
cable or watched the TV in years.
Oh, yeah, you're
so
streaming.
I don't
so
know
we
what
don't know
station it
channels.
comes on. I think it's on Hulu. I just watch the clips on YouTube. I don't even take it that far. YouTube will tell me what was funny, and YouTube, sure enough, told me that Matt Damon pretending to be Brett Kavanaugh was hilarious.
brilliant.
And it was accurate.
I would have never guessed him to play Kavanaugh.
I
either.
wouldn't either, but it was so
It was
perfect.
perfect.
It was perfect. It was
Mhm.
spot on.
Yeah.
It was barely satirical. Like, I hadn't seen the hearing that they had
Right.
prior to seeing this.
Okay.
So I watched the skit and then I went back and watched the hearing. And I was like, yo, this was barely satirical.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think that makes it even funnier.
That was what made it even funnier. Like,
Yeah.
it was funny in retrospect as well. It was funny watching it, and then it was funny in retrospect.
I mean, I would kind of say that for what's his name who plays Donald Trump on there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. It's like, it used to be satirical because we used to have more reasonable, or they hid their crazy. Let me just say they hid their crazy more.
Right.
But people like put on their, I like to call social suits and acted like semi-appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
So when Saturday Night Live would do, skits on presidents or other, political figures, it would be a very stretch
It would
of
be
their
a stretch. Yeah, it would be
personality.
outlandish.
Right.
So it would be like parody and
because these people,
caricature.
Yeah, because these
But
people
these people
are
are
who
so
they
fucking
are.
crazy today. It's barely
It's like all I have to do
caricature.
is act like them. And
Like
you're
it's really just imitation. Like
Yeah,
that's what
there
it
it
is.
is.
It's
Yeah.
pure imitation.
Yeah.
There was little caricature put toward. That's what makes it crazy.
Yeah.
That's what made it crazy. It wasn't the fact that it was so outlandish. It was the fact that it was so close to the original. That's what makes it galling.
Well, that's
Ooh.
what made the meme of The Handmaid's Tale galling.
Yeah.
If people have not or seen that or the show or the meme, but they put up a picture of The Handmaid's Tale scene with all the men on court making a decision, and yeah, it looks pretty damn similar.
Mm-hmm.
So
Also on SNL that same night, we have Kanye West, who was a stand-in musical guest for someone else. He was a last-minute decision.
oh, he was? I didn't know
Somebody
that.
else was supposed to be
He
there.
showed up with
I think
Tiana
it was
Taylor and
Ariana
someone else.
Grande or
Oh, really?
somebody was supposed to be on there, and they had to pull out last minute, and they called him,
And he came through with
and
the
he
crew.
came through with everybody. Yeah,
Huh.
that's what I heard through the grape VZ. But whether he was supposed to be there or not, he showed up and showed out
God.
and showed every bit of his ass.
Can't take him anymore.
It's too much. It was an unaired portion of the end of the Saturday Night Live show. And he went on a rant, a tirade in his Yeezy'd out MAGA hat. Yeah.
It kind of reminded me, not like that, but of Kavanaugh's rant. And when he just started ranting during the hearings.
Yelling and
like,
crying.
You're just kind of like, I'm glad I'm seeing it. Because that's what it really is. That's what these people really are.
Right.
And what they think.
That's what I said. That is the only good thing. The only silver lining to Trumpism and at this era in America is because now everybody can see what people of color have been telling you since forever. And sometimes it really pisses me off when I sit back and watch white people have this epiphany to inequality. Like, it makes me want to punch somebody in the face. Because it's just like when we were saying it, right, you weren't trying to hear it. Right. But when you start saying it to each other, it's suddenly a problem. That's the shit that pisses me off. Yeah. So while I'm proud of the strides we're taking in this country, that people are waking up and seeing the disproportionate, whatever the fuck, pick something that's going to be disproportionate. So now that people are seeing it, on the one hand, I'm just like, I'm proud, I'm happy, I'm great, we're moving forward. But then on the other hand, I'm just like, fuck you, all this because it's been here. It took all this and your rights potentially being being harmed to see that mine have always been fucked up. Yeah. So that's the shit. I go back and forth between being like, thank God, really, and then just like, yo, fuck everybody.
I think it's really reasonable because we've been, at least for me, I've been feeling like I've been outspoken and looked at as crazy since I was 15 years old saying certain things. And even at certain jobs or whatever. And so it drives me crazy now to see people realizing even things about the police. And it's like, but I was saying that 5 years ago, and you guys thought I was the angry, black lady in the room.
I am unable to. But I cannot, and I'm unable to.
The one funny thing is, like, I'm going to need Kanye not to be a victim, though, because they bullied me in the back. I just love how what's-his-name came back. He's like, I didn't bully him. I said, I don't want you to wear that fucking hat.
He went on Seth Rogen and spilled all the tea about what actually happened. Yeah. And how
his own homie just said, I don't want to be tied into that.
He was the bully because he made all of these employees of SNL who he knew were totally against his message come out onto the stage and stand there uncomfortably while he talked nonsense. Yeah, yeah. Just totally unfounded.
I'm going to need your millionaire not being able to be bullied because of the position you're in, clearly.
Nonsense. Right. So, you know what? It's typical right-wing projection anyway. It's always just like Obama started the race baiting in this country. Are you fucking crazy? Right. Like, you're just making this up. Right. Like, they are the epitome of projection. So that's why I'm saying, Kanye saying he was bullied backstage, that's just regular old right-wing projection. He bullied those people onto the stage with him.
What's even more confusing is I thought he was going through this like rebrand, like I'm going back to Chicago. He took off the MAGA hat. He also gave some kid on the street some chants. He filmed that, in Chicago.
Back and forth.
So I thought he was going to go through like this whole like, okay, back to the people thing. And then now he's
doubling down.
Straight schizophrenic.
That's coming next.
Maybe. That's coming next. Watch. Because he already said he was drugged and whatever, but he has two personalities and they are now really showing their asses. So we'll see.
I don't know, and I don't give a damn. He's supposed to be going to Africa to finish his album. He delayed releasing the album because he wants to go to Africa to finish. What the fuck for? A bitch could never know. But I'm hoping he comes across some person in whatever country he decides to go to on that great continent, and they sit his stupid ass down and learn him a thing or two. And that's the only thing I can hope for. That's as optimistic about this situation as I can be. But as a whole, fuck him and fuck this. My concern is the younger generations who have no one there to counter his nonsensical ramblings, who think that this man is a genius.
We have some people speaking out still.
But here's the thing. People can speak out all they want, but if they feel a certain way about Kanye, they're listening. And these comments I'm finding are a lot of people are agreeing with whatever the fuck he's saying. He's talking about abolish the 13th Amendment. Nigga, do you know that abolish slavery, you stupid fuck? Mm-hmm. Amend the 13th Amendment, sure. But certainly don't abolish it, you asshole. And what people are doing are like this mental gymnastics thing that you have to do for Trump. Trump says something ridiculous, and then they come up with what they're certain
quote unquote he meant or
what
that
he meant. And they're doing that with Kanye. They're just going to totally, we'll fill in those blanks for you.
This is what he
say
meant.
that this is what he meant. Saying. He don't know what he's saying.
He's crazy.
But he's
going to go to Africa and listen to nature.
You know what? Whatever he does, what my ears won't be listening to?
That album.
Kanye West songs ever again.
I can't.
Now
question: will you listen to College Dropout still? Will you
I
listen to
fuck
his
with
old
College.
stuff?
Yeah, College Dropout is a classic, and
he was in his right mind.
He was in his right mind. This is when he was on national TV telling the world that George Bush don't care for black people. You know, when Kanye was Kanye. So I'll listen to that. This isn't like an R. Kelly situation for me. I can't like listen to R. Kelly without my skin crawling, like personally. Yeah. Every time he's singing about something,
it took me a long time, and I'm not even gonna front, but it took me a long time. But now I'm to the point where especially after that long rant where he like really admitted it, I was just like, I just
he's admitting all types of crazy stuff. I can't do it.
Now, this is tea that I know you don't care about, but I actually heard a few things through some other gossip sites, podcasts, that the prediction is Kim's going to have a few more babies. Like, she already has embryos in some people. You know how she's about to do it. Because she wants all her kids to be the same dad, and then she's going to leave him. That's why I prefaced it with, I know that you don't care. Yeah. But that's what I've heard. And when thinking about it, I wouldn't be surprised if she did that. Had a few more babies and left him. Because she's about her business, and I think she's kind of done with it too, to be quite honest.
I have
Which is the even funnier thing. So, if that woman leaves him at the end of all this,
I can't even muster up the energy to pretend to care to respond to you. So all I can say is I apologize, sis, because I don't know what to say to that. Also, back to Kavanaugh and this hearing with Dr. Blasey Ford. She came with the heat, and she got heat in return. This woman is an American hero, and if you think anything else, you're an asshole. Plain and simple. I'm sorry. I can't get into it with you about a bunch of just history and sociology and just all this other stuff. The woman is credible. Trump has admitted she's credible. Republicans are admitting she's credible. And the public still doesn't give a shit. Yeah. I've watched grown-ass women with daughters coming into that more sexual age in their life, which is when you start to really panic, I would think. As a mother, I feel like that would be when your girl starts like growing breasts and shit. Oh God, I would be drunk all day, every day. I wouldn't be able to take it. I wouldn't be able to take it. And she's looking at this child standing right next to her at like this fucking dangerous age. And she's just like, what high school boy hasn't pinned down a girl and tried to take off her clothes and rape her?
Right.
Who ain't been sexually assaulted? Am I right, ladies? Like, bitch, what?
And add on, she's lying. I've heard that. And I'm just kind of like...
He lied. He lied several times.
Well, you can tell that he couldn't even attack her because when he opened up, he didn't attack her.
Right.
His defense had nothing to do with him because there was no defense against her.
No.
He just went a different angle to fight for himself.
Right.
And so I think that's also a really big sign of showing that, you know, if there was any kind of like chance where this is just a completely false accusation, then he would have went after that. And he didn't.
Of course.
No, I mean, it's alarming how many people are like, yeah, you know.
So what? You get drunk?
What did I say? Not even about this, but what did I say? I'm like, oh, well, you know, nothing has ever happened to me, thank God. I was like, well, actually, you know, back in the day, sometimes when you're in clubs and you're dancing and you're walking across the floor, you'll get a titty grab or an ass grab, and you're like, oh, but you can't see who did it, and you keep on moving.
Right.
Like, it's nothing. So I mentioned that, and I was like, well, damn. I mean, you know, like, why would I think that's nothing? And,
I don't know that I've gotten a full titty grab.
Oh, I have had a titty grab, and I've had an ass grab with the
ass
and
grabs,
you don't know.
Yes, but that can be ambiguous sometimes. If it's a grab,
but
or
now
I
look back and think, right? Because I think of it as like, oh, that's just your drug. You know, I talked it off. I didn't care. I didn't feel assaulted. I still don't feel like I've been assaulted. But then I really think like, okay, put yourself in that position. There's a guy who literally sees me going through, and let's just say he's not drunk, and really just sticks his hand out
Right,
because
it's
the
authority.
authority,
it definitely happens.
the
Certainly
authority
happens.
that men think that they have over our physical bodies,
Right.
is shocking when you really think about it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You really think you could just grab a stranger
Absolutely.
and it's not okay? I mean, it's okay.
It is okay. Yeah.
So
I
anyways,
mean, I'm a little more lenient for ass grabs in the club,
of course, but
but a titty grab is.
that's the thing, is like, that's the minimal.
right.
Get what I'm saying? But when you really look at the psychology of saying that's okay, well, where's the next step? So now
Right.
you have a 20-year-old
Right.
kid in a club that grabbed 5 girls who the girls just smiled or turned around and was like, ah.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the next step for him?
Right.
Maybe in that dorm room, grabbing an ass, but you're not at the club and it's crowded now.
Right.
Get what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, it's the lowest level, but what it shows is like the psychology that could form in somebody
Mm-hmm.
about, other people's bodies and what you're allowed to do. And I don't know, it's just insane. I don't know, I think about that now. I'm like, because I thought about it
that
as nothing.
we'll allow and won't allow.
Yeah.
But these people are literally saying it's okay for a drunk boy to
Oh yeah.
potentially assault you.
Boys will be boys, right?
That's what's really blowing my mind now. And also, like, the right wing, they're always like, oh, anti-feminism. But even feminists are just saying your justification that high school boys just pin people down and sexually assault them, we don't support that at all.
Right.
We don't support that. I don't know
Right.
any feminists who are just like, that's right, girl, they be doing that. No.
Right.
Because that discredits every man in the world, saying that you're all just animals and some of
Right.
you just get away with it and some
Right.
of you don't. And I don't believe that to be men.
Right.
And you'd have to be stupid to believe that. Like, boys would be boys. If I was a man, I'd be like, I wasn't doing that in high school.
Well,
What do you mean?
And I am so grateful. I have 2 brothers, and I'm always like, it doesn't have to be that way. And even going back to my same example, to stay on the same thread, my brothers would never grab an ass in a club like that.
Right.
Get what I'm saying? It wouldn't even be like, I don't care how drunk they've been drunk.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen my brothers drunk. Like, all these other excuses, like, are you kidding me? So it's like, I've always can stand by knowing, like, it doesn't have to be that way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But they're always just trying to paint feminists with like this broad brush, like we hate men. But you're saying men are capable of doing these terrible things, and we're saying they don't as a whole. So who here is pro men, us or you? Because
Right.
your ideal of men is fucking terrible.
Right. Yeah. No,
Whatever.
Look, I don't understand. I think people are now kind of looking at the situation of like a conviction or setting him free. We're not in a court. This isn't a hearing. The man's not going to jail.
This is
It's
about a
saying
job.
that
This is a literal
this is
job interview.
A job interview, and someone who is going to have a job for a tenured period, a lifetime. And
So
doesn't
30
show
years at least.
character or a value. They do background checks if you want to be a paralegal.
Mm-hmm.
If there's something spotty in my past,
Mm-hmm.
they don't have to prove it to say, you know what, we can't have that in this position.
I don't even think they piss test these motherfuckers.
That's what I don't get. It's
Like you should have to be
don't
drug
we
tested
want
to be in Congress.
people of character on the court?
Absolutely.
Right.
We
That's the
absolutely
point.
should be drug testing
So,
people in Congress.
There's no point of proving it without a reasonable doubt. You're not in your court of hearing. What we have already proven is this person does not have exceptional character.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever's going to be on the Supreme Court needs to have not just good character, not like even on my level character. I've
Right.
done some shady shit in the past.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about exceptional character.
Exactly.
And that's what I think people are forgetting too.
And that's what Kavanaugh don't got.
Yeah. So,
If anything, just how he behaved at the trial
sheesh.
should be enough for you to be like, ugh, this doesn't seem like somebody who is
Can
in
control
control
their
of his own emotions
Right.
and being, bipartisan.
Right.
I just don't believe that of him
Yeah.
anymore after this.
I have to really stay out of the comment section for this one because the people who support, I just can't. I just can't.
I'm having a hard time finding
people support
people
him.
who are supporting him. You're going to be hard pressed depending on where you're reading. I mean, if you're reading a right wing thing, but I try to read reputable sources, I stick to the big main ones. You get your occasional person up there, like your troll or whatever, but
Yeah.
more people than not who are commenting are just like, this can't.
Well, I guess I saw
happen.
it more in the beginning of people just being like, well, lady
Pre
could be
her
lying.
her testimony, yes,
Yeah.
but post her testimony,
Yeah,
there are
yeah.
very few people.
And I'd like to leave off with this statistic, if you would let me, so kindly, because the whole lying thing, and I hear it personally in my life, I'm saying with people I know, men who are like women lie. Statistically, on average, it's only about 5 to 7% of assaults are completely false.
Mm-hmm.
So when you really put that in perspective, 100 women, even if you bump up the statistic a few percentage, you're only going to have 10 out of 100. So 90 women are telling the truth, 10 aren't.
Mm-hmm.
Please stop letting the 1, 2, 3% ever make you think that the bulk of reporting of assaults is false, because they're just not. And no woman really gains that much in life, because people are talking about, now she's going to get a book deal. Now she's going to get... You guys don't understand. She's probably had to move. She probably isn't safe.
She's going
their
through
lives
hell.
are turned around.
She's going through hell. And nobody does that for a lie.
Yeah.
I don't care what you think you're going to get for it after.
Yeah. And this is someone who's highly protected. So think about a regular person in regular life. That's why most people don't report
and that's why people don't report.
So
that's tragic.
We're going into
dumpster fire of the justice system.
We're going into more assault.
More assault from the grand old party, who's supposed to be the party of family and personal responsibility.
Yes.
Sarah Palin.
I wish I could do her accent.
What the fuck? Oh, yeah.
Alaska?
I don't know.
I can't do it.
Sounds. It's like almost Canadian, but
Palin.
different.
Yes.
Sarah Palin's son is in trouble for assaulting his ex and being drunk. This is typical for him. He's had several domestic violence charges placed against him.
3 in the last few years.
And drunkenness and rowdiness and whatever the fuck. I don't care about that. What we really need to discuss here is the fact that this man's name is Track Palin. You heard correctly. His name is Track.
Like
as
I
in
run
racetrack. As in she walks the track. 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 And I feel like that has probably been the most detrimental part of his upbringing. I feel like a lot of things would be different for him.
You didn't give him a shot, Sarah.
If his name was Track. You set him back. You set him back. Because most of his anger and aggression is probably stemming from the schoolyard.
You set Track back?
You set Track back.
Sorry, I had to go there.
It's literal, though. It's not even funny because it's correct. And, I mean, her whole family is just messy.
Yeah, her daughter's on Teen Mom. Just joined the Teen Mom. Is it OG? I don't know. One of them.
And you know what? Being
series.
a teen mom or a single mom, ain't nothing wrong with that. It is wrong with that when you try to demean other people for being that.
Right. Well, I'm just like, why are you joining? Like, all these women, they were teens when they joined the show, and now they're grown up. I don't think they would choose at like 25 to join the cast, like retroactive.
Wait, so she was like 20 something when she joined?
She's like 25, married to a military guy who's got major mental issues. So like her family's falling apart because of the reality show. And you're going to join the teen cast to remind America that you got pregnant the first time when you were a teen? I'm confused. So yeah, her family's like fucking weird. Think if she would have won.
Messy.
That's what I'm saying. That person was running for another.
I mean, but we should have known. That was just like the precursor to Trump. We should have just known that that we were in for this. Like, I think we really didn't even realize, because people supported her.
Oh, people loved her.
McCain and all that.
She was loved.
She was running with McCain, wasn't she?
Yes.
Like,
and he
people
made her
liked her.
Well, and it was scary because of McCain. McCain was the one that was going to win it for them, and so she really almost could have got there.
I feel bad for McCain because, well, he was going up against Obama. He was always going to lose. Let's say he was going up against another Democrat, insert whomever here. He would have had a good shot.
Right. But Palin, oh my gosh.
Even with Palin. Without her, maybe even better.
Even better.
Or maybe worse. I feel like she had that thing about her that Trump did too, and which is why he got such a lot more coverage, is because he's just ratings worthy. And now all of these companies had to come back in to apologize because it was coming off as a inexplicit endorsement of him. But because he was just a ratings grabber, of course that's what they're going to put on the screen. And she was just a ratings grabber. She would say something just stupid and ridiculous in a stupid and ridiculous way. And they would put the cameras on her. So she might have helped him get further than he may have without her.
Probably right.
Now that I'm really thinking about that shit.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Weird. So weird.
Whatever.
Well, her son got a year, I think. But I don't know, because the article said, like, he will be in custody for a year. And I'm like, is that jail? If this person was black, would they be like, he's going to jail for a year?
Right.
Are you writing it in such a way that's like doesn't sound like jail, but it is? So weird shit. But he's gonna pay some time for it.
I'm done talking about track Palin.
Track.
All right, so I don't know why we didn't lead with this, but this is our 10th show.
It is
episode 10.
Episode 10. It's like a decade.
We're not popping any bottles or anything.
She wanted to, but I was yawning.
We popped a joint.
Oh no, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did.
I don't know.
Is it legal?
I don't know what's truth anymore. It's illegal. Depending on what state you are, you make the decision on if we did or if we didn't.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, it's the 10th anniversary.
Yeah, well, happy 10 episodes.
It took us a long time.
Can you imagine doing like 100?
I couldn't. Think about how long it took us to do this 10. Certainly more than 10 weeks.
That's a whole lot of talking to each other.
It is, but it doesn't feel like it.
No.
I mean, it's like one conversation a week.
We have more conversations than
I
one,
mean,
but yeah.
we do, but I don't like see you every day. We don't talk every day. So
that's probably
you're saying it's a lot of talking to each other. It's literally one conversation a week.
Right? We just get it all in.
All in.
That's true.
Squish it in.
Well, I think that's good.
All right. Well, congratulations to you.
Congratulations to you.
And let's move right on along to WTF.
This is our clap, or because we don't have the clap machine yet. That's our
Oh,
clap.
You want some claps?
I'll
put some claps.
People? Okay.
There's claps happening right here.
Oh, claps.
Okay. Now, what the fuck?
Back to our show.
My what the fuck is about Kanye.
You skipped Cardi B.
Oh shit. Trending number 4. Cardi B was arrested in regard to
assault.
They used a lot, like they used assault and all this other. She got into a fight at the club with some bitches.
That's the only illegal thing that you could say at this point.
Because she's rich, them bitches called the police. Like that's all it was. Yeah. But she got in a fight at a strip club back in August, and she turned herself in, and then they let her go. I don't even know.
Same day she was smiling.
Same day she was fine. She was slaying too, and that suit she had on that hair. Cardi B, yes, bitch.
I want her, even though again she's never tried to be something she's not. I want her to stop though. I want her to what did I say earlier? I want her to bask in the joy of her life right now. I just do. I just feel like, she's got this baby, she's got this out. Like, this needs to be the time where it's like, fuck all that other shit. You've been doing all that other shit. You've been fighting for your life and scrapping and fucking, you know what I mean? And it's like, you don't have to do that anymore.
Maybe this wasn't her fault.
No, I'm not saying it is, but just in general, Nicki Minaj, she's a fighter, she's a scrapper, and that
I feel like she would have been let Nicki Minaj go if it wasn't for Nicki.
I just think it's going to take time for her to kind of like wear that off and realize she doesn't have to fight.
I mean, she is, but she also is who she is, and she can't change either. I wouldn't want her to.
But I'm someone who thinks you can slowly.
I mean, slowly, but like, don't not be who you are. And if she was at the club and it got real at the club, then.
Well, I think like anything else, as you get older, you get a little more tired too. So you just
you start to slow down.
She's still in her 20s. She's got a lot of young energy
too. Yeah.
But anyways, I just would hate for her to like, if something would have really happened and put her in jail for a couple months. I just, you know what I mean? I don't want that to be her situation.
But
and she's
look,
a target.
People go in to jail and come out with much higher record sales. Shit, fuck it at this point.
So.
Everybody do better after they get out.
So.
Except for Meek Mill. Is Meek Mill doing better? I don't think he's doing better yet.
No.
Everybody else do better once they come out.
He's spending his time much better doing things that probably help the world a little bit more than what he was. So, all right. On to the what the fuck now.
Bitch, I know you fucking lie. I know you fucking lie.
Now what the fuck, which is Kanye. And I feel like I got all this out earlier, but boy, I'm telling you, like, there are young black men who are slowly starting to think that he is right. Just beware. Talk to your sons, talk to your cousins, talk to your brothers, talk to whoever the fuck. But just make sure that they know that this nigga ain't right.
Right.
That's what I need.
Don't allow principles that are embedded in you, like, yeah, you should be able to say what you want. Like, don't allow things that of course you can say what you want, ever try to mask what he's doing. Because he's trying to tap into that. He's trying to tap into your, like, the most reasonable part of your mind. Like, and the most optimistic part of your mind that you would think that he's going to be making some sort of sense. So don't let him fool you.
Don't think that. And you know what? Kanye is fucking rich. And whatever the fuck Trump does in this country ain't gonna ever affect Kanye fucking West. So he could say, I agree with this man because he's rich and I'm rich and I'm in a tax bracket where all these tax cuts are going to absolutely benefit me. So who the fuck cares?
Right.
That's what I feel like is the overarching thing that we need to keep in mind. There's no consequences for Kanye West either way. Even if he lost his whole black audience off the strength of this, he just gained a whole new white audience. Mm-hmm. So he gonna be all right. He's going to keep selling these clothes to people who can't afford it. And he's going to keep saying this dumb shit. And if you won't listen to it, somebody else will. He's going to be fine. But keep in mind that Kanye West and you are two different people in two different tax brackets who live in practically two different Americas. So don't let this uneducated nigga affect
college dropout.
The decisions that you make in your own private life.
Right. Like with voting and stuff.
Etc. And that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah. I mean, I echo. I don't really have a comment about that. I echo that. And again, I just think he really tries to just tap in like, love. Everyone should love. Yeah, everyone should love. But that's not what the fuck we're talking about right now. So that's what I'm saying. It's like
not even a
he's
topic.
trying to use these universal truths. Like love, love overcomes. Like whatever he does that like taps into any humanity, he's literally just using that to get across as crazy. And that's my main thing, because I hate when he uses something like love. Like, of course, who wants to hate? You know what I mean? Like, that's right. We're not saying hate solves anything. But that does not make anything
and
you
also
say right.
Me pointing out that you're wrong, me pointing out that somebody is a racist, me pointing out that somebody is a xenophobe, that doesn't mean I don't necessarily like love them to a certain degree.
Right.
I don't want Donald Trump to die. I don't want Donald Trump to die. I'm going to make that very clear.
Right.
That's not something in my heart. That's not something I want by any means necessary.
Right.
I do not want death for that man. I'm not one of these people. I'm not fucking crazy.
Right. Exactly.
I don't, however, want him making public policy either.
Right.
And that's all I'm saying. Do I believe he's a racist? Yes. A xenophobe, misogynist? I believe all of these things, but I also believe he has a right to life. I just don't want his life having any effect over mine. Yeah. That's all I want.
Done. I mean, you said it. There's nothing else to say. Yeah.
And that's that. My tablet done died.
My what the fuck is Indonesia. Okay. So look, Indonesia. We already know the earthquake and the tsunami.
Oh
that was already like devastating, and what the fuck. Like, just watching the images of, like, a whole village just get overwashed by the water is never... I'm never desensitized. I'm never like, oh, change the channel.
Right.
But my real what the fuck was, like, I felt like I was kind of, like, mourning the country and just thinking about them. I'm like, okay. And then I wake up, like, a couple days later, and they have a fucking volcano erupt on the same island as the tsunami. And so people who were alive and survived the tsunami were trapped and ended up getting, some of them killed by the volcano.
Right.
And I just really sat there like, what the fuck? Like, the whole like, keep hope alive, fight for your life. Imagine this. You're fighting for your life. And it's just like, at this point, God,
bitch don't got
what
no more fight.
More natural disaster can happen? So anyways, that was my what the fuck. It's not really funny. It's just like, I'm literally can't. I'm over here in California. I know. I'm over here in California, and yes, we have earthquakes, right? You've felt a couple trembles. Mm-hmm. Yes, I survived the 94 earthquake. But let me tell you, I've had a pretty fucking easy weather life. I don't worry about storms. Like, there's nothing. There's nothing I worry about. And gosh, some people have to worry about all three of those in 1 week. That's just what the fuck for me.
I can't even.
I start to understand why certain places are more to live.
Yeah. Tsunamis terrify me.
Tsunamis do?
Yeah. I'm terrified of tsunamis. Just...
I always think to myself, I can swim, so I should be fine, right?
No, because it's not like you just in a nice open ocean just to swim in,
I'm going to just go to the top and
everything.
Get my breath.
There's trees, there's cars, there's houses and buildings.
I'm going to swim my ass off. I'm Michael Phelps that shit.
You're going to die.
In my head, literally, when I watch videos, I'm like, okay, what would I would be like, okay, I'd swim to the bottom and then I'd do an aerial, like a mermaid aerial. Okay. And then, okay, no.
So you ain't making it out the tsunami, clearly. Yeah, that's that. Indonesia, God don't want y'all there.
No, I think we should flee that country.
God
There's
don't
another
I
country
don't
too that
want
always
y'all.
gets tsunami. What is it?
Yeah,
Thailand or something? It's like
Maybe.
Anyways. So yep, that was my what the fuck.
What's next? I don't have a tablet. I don't know my
Oh,
own show.
so on to the next, which is nothing because we're gonna like edit this section. If we're not gonna really read books, we need to do something else. So
take it out.
At least I finished my book, but I have not gotten a new book to read. So I am not reading anything right now.
I'm not reading anything either.
So let's just move
a
on
ton
to
of news articles. I mean, like, let's make that clear. I read a lot of news.
Yeah. I
all
read
day.
the Daily Journal every day.
I don't have like a thing, one thing that I read, but whatever comes across my Facebook, and then sometimes I fall down a rabbit hole and just, you know, if they're referencing something, then clicking that link and seeing what that is, and then what is that? So I can fall into a HuffPost vortex
Wonderland
and be there for 45 minutes, easy.
Yeah.
But as picking up one thing to read, I haven't tried. I tried to read Fire and Fury, that book that came out about Trump that was a big deal, and then that other one that came out not too long ago about Trump that had all this stuff in it, and I wanted to read both of those, and I just didn't. And I have them. I just I can't sit and read it. I just don't have the attention span. But I'm not listening to anything either. I might as well just jump ahead.
Ooh,
I'm not listening.
I'm listening. You already know because you're in the car the other day. I'm not gonna lie. I've been listening to Ariana Grande's album.
Oh, right,
the little Mickey Mouse grown up girl. Ariana Grande's new album, I believe, is called Sweetener, but I could be wrong. That could just be a song. But I have taken to it. I like a couple songs. It makes me just want to sing. To be honest, sing out loud. So
that's good.
And she has this little cute mousy voice that I can't tell if I like it, but I like it. So yeah. I'm listening to her album along with all my other podcasts.
I haven't listened to any podcasts. I just don't really want to ingest anything new right now.
It's fine.
Me and the wife, we watch one episode or two if she doesn't have class a night, and then that's it. I usually just have something on just for background noise, and I'm doing whatever the fuck ever. I don't know what I'm doing, but I just can't ingest anything new right now. Like, I'm just not in the mood.
I was going to say, you go through phases. You can't do everything all the time.
Right.
That's what I said.
I just feel like I usually have, like, say something, this one thing that I'm, like, crazy about, and this other thing I'm not, and then they go up and down and balance each other out. But I feel like it's, like, all the things. So I'm just like, I don't want any of it.
Are you excited for Lil Wayne's new project?
No. Well, what I heard from In Your Car, it's very little hip-hop. Like, was
that his new project? Did it already drop?
Yeah, it's out. The Carter 5.
Look, I didn't even know I had the newest music.
Oh, yeah,
that is so funny. Okay.
I mean, I need to go through the track listing and really see. But I felt like of the, I don't know, 5-6 songs that you played on the way there and back. No, there was like 3 songs. And then you skipped one.
Okay.
Because that was trash. Like, there was a lot of, like, singing, and it was, like, kind of, like, poppy. I was just
only
like...
had, like, 1 or 2 songs that was Spotify.
Maybe. I have, like I said, I need to go back and verify. Yeah. But from what I heard, it seemed like I was just like,
We like that one song.
Where's the hip-hop?
We like that one
the song with Kendrick Lamar, of course. But it's Kendrick Lamar. Of course, the song is going to be fucking dope. But that's what I'm saying. It just didn't seem very hard to me. And I was looking forward to it because it was Wayne, and I thought I was going to get something hard.
I'm peaked. I'm interested.
But I'm going to go back and verify that. I could be absolutely wrong. But that, like, pseudo pop stuff and, like, throwing Justin Bieber on the track. And he had that Spanish one. All that. Like, I don't want that.
That was not on his new album, I don't think. That was
the Carter 5. I was looking at the screen. Yes.
Okay.
It was a new song. It has
Selena
Gomez.
You're right. Cardi B, Quavo.
I don't want this poppy shit in my hip hop. Like, it's just so watered down. Like, I don't.
Well,
and he's like a lyrical rapper.
Remember, that's his single, though. So if, say, an album is 20 songs, he's going to have a couple of radio play, right?
Well, let's hope it's 20
radio
because Young Money ain't known for long albums either. Drake started that. Make album longer, and then Nicki had those longer ones, and her last one was a little bit too long. They're starting like that long.
Beyonce started that when she dropped her double CD back in the day, and it was so much content.
Well, I mean, since music, they've always been long. When they started making full LPs, like records, like they would be longer. Then your tapes were long. You had your side A and B. They've actually gotten shorter. Like, I remember when like Destiny's Child and like Genuine, like all those albums were only like
14 songs or
12,
something. But now it's even shorter. I mean, a lot of albums
right,
are,
then
7
by
to 10,
like
10 songs
the
now.
early 2000s, like Ja Rule and all that, them shits would be like 10 songs, 8 songs. I'm like, where's the rest of this album?
And now they say they do it that way because things are just so quick that they don't want to take the time to do a full album because what was in anyway. So now they just want to drop music every couple months, and it's an interesting concept.
But these people don't do that. Like, Ricky don't come out with an album every few months.
No. I'm talking about the
Neither
new
does.
the new
Oh yeah,
goodies.
like the new kids.
Yeah.
That song with Kanye, that I Love It shit with Young Pump. That song's only like 2 minutes and change.
Yeah.
I'm just like, y'all not trying to give no
Tiana's
fucking
album
content.
is 15 minutes. Like that,
Right.
He did
but
her so
most of that
wrong.
is because of him, not
Yeah,
her.
no,
Yeah,
I know.
that's his
He
fault.
did her so wrong. I can't wait till she makes music without him.
Mhm.
I hate to say that. But, yeah. All right, well, what are you watching? So you're not reading, you're not listening, you are watching some TV.
I just finished Castle Rock, which was really good.
Yeah. You're saying
And you don't need to like know the Stephen King folklore to get into the show. But after you finish watching it, it's good to watch like an Easter egg video on YouTube about it. Makes it more interesting with little nods to the universe. Like Stephen King has a full on universe, and this show is like kerplunked right in the middle of it, both geographically and in regard to time, linearly. So it was really good, and the universe feels familiar. I've been working on a show that's pseudo similar to that show, so that's why watching it, I was just like, I feel like I'm watching my show right now. So I hate that it's over. And Bodyguard, I'm gonna go back to that, and that's it. I'm not starting nothing new.
Yeah, that's right. We're no new friends right now.
I'm not starting nothing
no
new.
new friends.
I don't even have the energy. I've been rewatching like Veep. I've just had that on playing.
Remember, what was I watching last week? The Simpsons. Like sometimes I want to sit down and watch something I know. And I can't do something new. So I'm with you.
What are you watching?
I am watching. I didn't write this down. I forgot. Drum roll.
Stop that.
Okay. My friend show, Pilar Golden, God Friended Me, just came out. And
where is it?
It is NBC. Is it NBC, I think?
I haven't heard of this. God Friended Me?
God Friended Me.
Is the
It's
dude
a brand
black?
new
Is
show.
he black?
There's a
the
black
star
on it. There's a
is
white
black?
guy on it. There's a few characters on there. But yes, one of the main characters is black.
I think I know what show we're talking about.
And it's so cool, and I haven't even been able to tell Pilar this. Today, a coworker, William, he came up to me, and he was like, so I started a new show on Sunday, because it just aired Sunday. It aired for streamers early, but it officially dropped this past weekend, and it's after, whatever, I forget what show it's after. But my coworker came up to me today and was like, so I started a new show, and I'm like, oh, what? And he was like, God Friended Me, and it's so good. So anyways, I'm going to start getting into that. I've already got it kind of set on my DVR. So God Friended Me, and I'm sports girl. So Lakers came back this week, preseason, 2 games. We lost both, but I've been watching the Lakers every night.
Every night?
Sports.
How?
2 games in a row. It's Wednesday right now, so they played Monday. No, did they play Sunday and yesterday? No, they played Monday, and then they played Tuesday. So 2 nights in a row.
Basketball is never over. I feel like it's like
It's preseason. It hasn't even started.
It's like all year
Oh my God, no, it's
round.
not. We have to go so long.
No, you do not.
Yes, we do.
It's nothing close to what football fans have to wait. Not even remotely close.
I'm trying to think of the seasons. I'm not sure about. I honestly want to say it's pretty. They trend. They're fall sports. So it's sort
but
of
y'all
the
go
same.
past January.
Yeah, but Super
Bowl is January, and that's it. And we're
isn't
done all year until
The Super Bowl's
September.
not in January, is it?
Yes,
The
January,
end?
February, one of those. Yeah.
It's early months, but it's not like beginning of the year. I guess
It's
you're
early.
right.
It's January, February. We have to wait much longer. Basketball is like all year. It's like only like 1 month off, and
Well,
basketball
we play
is
so
back.
many games. Yeah, you're right, and we can play more games because physically.
It's less physical, yeah. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't.
But you're right. I didn't realize
like
that.
it's just all year.
I guess
It's
because
just
football just always
soon
seems
as
on
it's
to me,
over.
but basketball doesn't. Because I like basketball. But
Oh
yeah.
no, basketball is always
Yeah.
on.
But I'm also watching football, so I watch Sunday football and
If you
all
like
that good
college,
stuff,
you'll
but-
get more. But
Yeah, but the Lakers, it's pretty obvious when LeBron's in, we're winning, and when he's not, we're not. So I don't know what kind of season we're gonna have. One player cannot do it all, but literally he does.
he just needs help. I don't even like basketball. And I know this nigga need help.
He needs help. He's in
always on the
such
team having to
good
carry
shape right now.
everybody. It's just like I don't.
He's thin right now. He's
wanna
in
carry
really good
on.
shape. It's. I'm excited. I want to see him. I can't wait to go live for sure. I got to go down there.
Well,
So
basketball is boring, but I'm happy for you.
thank you. That's what I'm watching.
Congratulations.
You're welcome.
That's it.
Yeah. 10
Episode
episodes.
10. I feel like we should have done something special. I don't know.
Why don't we do something special on our, what's the next one? What's a
20?
Quintennial? What's 25 years? Is that big?
25?
Yeah, and then we could do 25, 50, 75, and 100.
I guess, whatever.
Okay.
Don't shoot down my idea.
Do we want to sing? I mean,
sing
no.
what? Happy birthday?
I don't know. What are we gonna do special? I gotta think of it.
I don't know. I couldn't think of anything. That's why I'm telling you.
Well, now
I feel like we should, but we're not.
We have 15 more episodes to think of something really cool. Maybe it's like
This
something
is too
we
much
do
pressure.
like.
Don't press on me.
Maybe it's something like we do.
Don't press on me.
I don't know. Maybe like for the world. No, I don't know.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know. I'll think.
All right, you think on it. What you mean out your own mouth. And that brings episode 10 of the comment section to a close. It's your girl, Miss Reid.
And Dev.
And we'll see you when we see you.
Bye.